Sometimes I might have too much stuff. Listen to Vladimir Putin this morning, telling his people how he's won, they're winning.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Dawn Patrol. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host. We've been joined by our co-host, EILEEN DELROSSI, Mike Smith, Fru Nkimbeng. Hello? Say something, EILEEN.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. How's the temperature up on Christian Hill?
I haven't been outside yet, but I heard it's like going to be a balmy 30 degrees today on the news.
21 in my backyard.
It was 19 driving in. But it's supposed to be clear. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, but snow tomorrow morning, some snow squalls in Wednesday. Maybe a delay for EILEEN and Anthony, maybe.
And the flu's out there. My wife told me that 80 kids had the flu at Immaculate. That's a lot of kids.
Yeah, you know something I have to say, I feel like since we've taken the COVID vaccine, I honestly feel like I don't really get sick often, but the few times that I have got sick after having the vaccine, I just could not kick it. And I've never been sick like that before. Like, I've noticed and I've mentioned it to other people and asked if they had taken the vaccine. Because I took all 3 of them. And I don't know what it is, or I have to think that might have messed with my system a little bit, because some people say they can't kick being sick either after taking the vaccine, or it lingers. It seems like it goes away and then it doubles back is what happens. So I wonder what we really ended up putting into our bodies sometimes.
That's why Fauci got off.
Pardoned.
That's why, yep. I noticed over the Lowell General, some staff are wearing masks over there now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm noticing it more just out in the community overall. More people are having those masks on.
So, looking back in history, gee, I didn't realize it was that long ago. In 1302, Dante Alighieri is condemned in absentia and exiled from Florence, or Firenze, they may have called it. He's the author of the Divine Comedy, which was a pretty good read. In 1606, the Gunpowder Plot, the trial of Guy Fawkes and other conspirators begins, ending with their execution on the 31st of January. There's a blog in England, current events blog, who claims that Guy Fawkes was the last person to enter Parliament with pure intentions.
How long ago was that?
Say that again, Eileen?
And how many years ago was that?
1606.
Maybe, right?
Yeah. 1825, U.S. Congress approved an Indian territory in what is present-day Oklahoma, clearing the way for forced relocation of the Eastern Indians on the Trail of Tears. Yeah, not a great day for us or the Indians. 1880, Thomas Edison receives a patent for the incandescent bulb. 1943, in World War II, the 8th Air Force sends 91 B-17s and B-24s to attack U-boat construction yards in Wilhelmshaven, Germany, the first American bombing attack. So think about that. That's December 41 to December 42. So that's about 14 months after Pearl Harbor. In 1967, the Apollo program astronauts Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee are killed in a fire during a test of their Apollo spacecraft at the Kennedy Space Center. That was the day we arrived in Germany, my wife reminded me. In 1973, the Paris Peace Accords officially ended the Vietnam War, and Wikipedia pointed out that Colonel William Nolde was the last person killed in that conflict in Vietnam.
What was the treaty called that ended the Vietnam War?
The Paris Peace Accords.
Okay.
And in 2002, an explosion at a military storage facility in Lagos, Nigeria, killed at least 1,100 people and displaced over 20,000 others. That was a big explosion.
Yes, so.
In 2010, Apple announces the iPad. That's a big step forward for all of us. 2023, protesters and public outrage spark across the U.S. after the release of multiple videos by the Memphis Police Department showing 5 black police officers punching, kicking, and pepper spraying Tyree Nichols as a result of running away from a traffic stop. We ended up with him dying in a hospital 3 days later. 1850, birth of Samuel Gompers, English-American labor leader. We're going to talk about unions in a little bit. He lived till 1924. And in 1885, Jerome Kern was born. He composed and a composer and songwriter. He did The Old Man River, Can't Help Loving That Man, Fine Romance, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, The Song Is You, all the things you are, the way you look tonight, and long ago and far away. And in 1596, Francis Drake, English captain and explorer, passed away. Today was the day of the liberation of the Romanian inmates of Auschwitz and Berkowitz.
It's Holocaust Survivor Day?
Yep, and it's Holocaust Survivor Day. And today's the feast of St. John Chrysostom, whose recommendation is simple and straightforward. Pray, fast, and show mercy. Not everyone's up to showing mercy, but it'd be good on the highways. LA fires, anybody got any updates? I thought the president did well on his visit out there. He and Melania went out, toured the area, talked to the governor, talked to Mayor Karen Bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least they're getting a little rain there, which is helpful, but I guess it's posing another problem for them.
Good morning.
Oh, Mike.
Morning.
How's it going, Mike?
Good.
How low is the temperature there down in Florida?
It was the other morning when I walked, it was 38 degrees, 36 degrees.
Terribly cold.
For Florida, yeah. It's warmer today. It got up to 73 yesterday, so it's supposed to be up to almost 70 today, so.
The snow didn't make it as far
No,
down.
northern Florida, though. Some of northern Florida got some snow, so it's, yeah, I know I'm not going to get any sympathy from you guys up in Massachusetts, so.
No, we've been freezing.
So,
Yeah, and Wednesday.
oh, wonderful.
Yeah, my sister's flying down from New York tomorrow, so hopefully there's no delays or anything with her plane. But I
Yeah.
think that part of New York is not supposed to be getting snow tomorrow.
I think from a teacher mindset, I think tomorrow is the snow squalls until like 9:30, so it's going to be coming down fast at different times, so maybe a delay. And then Wednesday morning, more steady,
Wow.
but not as much. I don't know. So I hope your sister has a safe flight down.
Thanks.
So did everyone watch the inauguration?
I watched bits and pieces. It was magnificent.
Did it bother anyone that Chief Justice Roberts started the oath before Melania got there with the two Bibles?
Yeah, why was that? Why didn't they wait? Unfortunately, I was tied up with soccer that Monday morning because I was at the tournament in Orlando. But I saw that come out in the news. Why wouldn't he just wait? That's tradition that the incoming president's family, they always pick a Bible out to take the oath on. I don't understand that. Is there something is that a signal from Roberts that he doesn't like Trump and he just wanted to get it over with and get away from him?
My guess is he was miscued.
Yeah.
Miscued. I mean, that's a very. I mean, it's not the first time he's done this.
Yeah,
you know.
but you see, Mike, in this live racket that we're in right now, if I say Cliff, you're on, he goes.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's a thing where you're sitting there and you got the starting gun. Have you ever held the starting gun, Mike? Who tells you when to shoot it?
People can't think for themselves. The guy's on the Supreme Court, for goodness sakes.
He's a spring butt. What could,
I mean,
He just wanted to have a close-up of Melania. That's all Mike wanted.
by the way, did you like the First Lady's outfit?
yeah, she was very elegant. I'm just waiting for all the haters to start writing stuff about her. You know, they were already doing it. She's wearing the wide brim hat. because she didn't want anybody to see her. She didn't want to be there. She's got a new NDA that she's been paid. She's going to get paid every time she's with Trump. I mean, this is ridiculous, some of the stuff. I saw some of the clips. She seemed to be enjoying herself, meeting people. I mean, she was laughing at the one ball when Trump was doing his little dance. You know, I mean, these people, have they got nothing else in their lives to do with themselves?
Well,
Say good morning to Cliff.
yeah, Fru. Yeah, Fru, did you get to see the inauguration?
Yes, Cliff, I saw it. It was great. I think it was one of the highlights was when the minister was speaking and President Trump was sitting and then looking passionately, and she spoke the word of God. And for all of us who are holding the Bible and talking about the Bible, if you listen to what she says, I think also we should treat everything compassionately, not holding the Bible with one hand and looking at things differently.
Okay, yeah. Okay, was anybody impressed with Carrie Underwood singing America the Beautiful a cappella after the snafu of no music?
I missed that part. I heard about it.
Yes, I saw that. That was good.
Good to
It
carry
was
on.
awkward for a few minutes, but then she just was like, if you know it, come sing along with me.
Yeah, she asked the audience, she said, help me out here. I thought it was great. And and Eileen and I talked about this Friday, I think. I really liked the midshipman choir singing the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
And then Cliff sang it, and then he had our guest Melanie sing it. And Cliff wants to know why we can't teach the students in school anymore this song.
Yeah, it's historic.
I know, but it doesn't separate the church and state, and that's happened since that song was made, right?
Well, we've always had separation of church and state.
Well, maybe education came in there somewhere at some point.
I don't know. Mike, do you know the Battle Hymn of the Republic?
I know some of the words to it,
Yeah.
but not all of it.
Did they teach that in school when you were young? Well, you're still young.
I don't know if we sang that or not. I don't remember if we did or not.
Fru, do you remember your kids singing that in school?
You put me on the spot. No, I don't even know the lyrics of that song, Cliff.
No.
I was in school from 1986 to 1998, and I never knew it. So,
Did you go to Catholic school?
Is this, Cliff, is it a religious song or what is it?
Yeah, I think it is. Julia Ward Howe wrote it before the Civil War. Well, let's read this thing and then I'll finish up.
This is addressed to Mike. Good morning. A question for Mr. Smith. Did the ref tuck it to the Bills on two crucial calls?
Did the what? Did the what in the Bills and you're talking about the Bills last name? They need a new defensive coach because they're too predictable, and they probably should replace the whole coaching staff. I mean, I'm a big Bills fan, but no creativity. Kansas City outcoached them. They knew what they were doing. They couldn't change anything. They were just too predictable. They beat themselves in that game. They should have won that game, but they were just too predictable, and Kansas City squeaked by again. There's just very frustrating. I mean, I could have coached some of that better than them. The whole season, I've been saying their defense wins championships, and their defense didn't show up. I mean, it's just, the typical every year with the Bills. They're cursed. I don't know if they're ever going to win again.
All right. So back to what Fru was saying. Yeah, I would say that the Battle Hymn of the Republic is a religious song. It starts out, "Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath."
Is that a Protestant song, though?
What?
Is it
Protestant,
a
yeah.
Protestant song?
Yeah. it's a Protestant.
Okay.
Then, as Eileen was asking a question, where does that stand with the separation of church and state? Is it just is it practical what people say with their lips? Because with the separation with the church and state, the church, how many churches, how many type of churches are there?
Well,
In this
Fru, I think the misconception about separation in church and state, it doesn't say there's no God. It just says
But
you
the
got.
song is not a God.
It doesn't say there's no God, and just the fact
I'm
that
saying this, the song is not the church is an institution. The church is an institution. Johnny mixed it. We didn't say God.
what are the first few words, Cliff? Would you repeat the first few words?
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. So it's a poem put to music about the issue of slavery, so it's pre-Civil War. And it was popular in the North during the period of the Civil War.
Move over to Fru's argument. Is it okay to teach there's no God? Is that what America should teach, that there's no God? Fru, what are your thoughts? Is it okay that America teaches there's no God? Over to your argument.
No, John, there is a God, but I'm just saying there should be a level playing field. Don't get me trapped. I didn't say they shouldn't speak
Well,
a
that was
God.
my takeaway. That was my takeaway from what you said.
No, my takeaway is different. My takeaway is that the government should not give preference to one religion over another.
So the government is deferring to no God. The government must teach all religions.
No,
Yeah, that's me.
that's not the way it's being interpreted
That's,
today.
I learned in Catholic school all religions. They taught me that down at good old St. Peter's School. Probably not all religions, but at least the popular ones, Judaism and Catholicism. Didn't get any Hindu stuff. Or Buddhist stuff either. That came later.
Okay. So, moving on to, since we've had a couple days to reflect, what do we think of President Biden giving preemptive pardons to 5 of his relatives minutes before he left the White House? And all those other pardons. You got any thoughts on this, Mike?
Yeah, I do. Last week, I went to see the men's national soccer game with some friends of mine. One of them happens to be a lawyer who used to be a prosecutor and a defender on both sides. And for the last 20 years before he retired, he was an assistant attorney general in New York. He worked for the attorney general in New York. We were discussing this, and he says, I've never seen anything like this before. He says, I don't even know if it's really legal what he did, because basically Biden is pardoning people who've never even been accused of any crimes, and during a period of time. So basically, whatever they did during that time, including his son Hunter Biden, they could have murdered somebody, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Now, contrary to what people think, they think, okay, it's all done and over with. Congress can still hold investigation into these people, and they can bring them before Congress, and they can ask them questions, and they can't claim the Fifth Amendment. So they have to answer the questions. And if they lie, like Dr. Fauci possibly, in front of them, and they have proof that he's lying, now they can charge him with perjury. So this isn't over yet. They're going to be bringing people in. This is ridiculous what he did as far as that. It's a lot different than what Trump did, whether you agree with him or not. He was pardoning people that had already been convicted. But Biden basically is given free reign to whatever those people did in his family, or Milley, or Fauci, or Schiff, that they could have done anything they wanted during that time period, and there's nothing anybody can do to prosecute them. That's just not right.
Now, a point from the audience: God is printed on the money you spend. In God we trust. The rest pay cash.
True.
Back over to you, Cliff.
Yeah, Fru, what do you think about these pardons?
Well, we're opening a can of worm. When the worm comes out of the can, it will go everywhere, and we can interpret it based on what inclination we are leaning at. So long as they are given the powers to the president and he exercises it, there are certain things we just have to swallow and sit with.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Fru, that it's a big can of worms. Because now any president in the future, whether it's Trump or whoever else in the future, they can go and pardon people unilaterally. Even if you know the person's done something wrong, and they just pardon them. I mean, that's just, this is not good.
Ken,
Are we forgetting when President Trump left the White House? Isn't that what the other side was saying? I mean, it depends which aisle you are and how you are saying it. And it's going to continue. The ball is going to be bouncing down that way. Which way the ball goes, it goes. We would defend it and sugarcoat it to make real, but it depends which side of the aisle you are.
No, I agree with you, Fru. This is bad all the way around. This is really bad. Because now, basically, a president can pardon anybody for anything, whether they've been accused or charged with any crime. They can just do it unilaterally. I mean, a pardon is supposed to be for somebody who's been accused or convicted of a crime of some type. And now it's, just free reign. This is bad. This is bad going down the road.
Two comments from the audience. Can President Biden be charged for having classified documents in his garage? And the second item is, between all the pardons and executive orders done by presidents, we might as well elect kings. Interesting points. Thank you. Back over to you, Cliff.
Yeah, I think pardons can be good. There's a book out there called Prison of Praise, written by a person who had been an enlisted man in the Army during World War II. I think he was convicted of currency crime right after the end of the war in occupied Europe. And Truman gave him a pardon. He straightened his life out, went to divinity school, and became a chaplain in the U.S. Army. So there's a success story from a pardon. So pardons can be good.
Yeah, but Cliff, this person was convicted of a crime. Biden was pardoning people in his family that have not even been charged or investigated or anything for any crime at all. This is just, not. You do the pardons after people have been convicted of a crime. That's the whole reason for a pardon.
Eileen sent me this link.
We're going to give you a new chance on life.
Eileen DelRossi sent me this link of pardons from President Biden since 22. And it's frequent. As for why they did it, these people, most of them were in jail. They're all sentenced for stuff. And I think this is a power that's been abused over the years. And with the internet being as quick as it is, there's a lot more spotlight put on this. These people weren't sentenced to anything, but got pardoned.
Yeah, but again, John, you're showing all these pardons were people who were convicted of crimes. Biden just pardoned people that have not even been charged with crimes.
Well, Mike,
he's basically saying, back to 2014, anything you may have done or you're going to be charged with, you're already free and clear.
Mike,
That's
according to this,
unheard.
this thing that Eileen sent me, okay, not all of these characters went to trial. In 2023, there's no sentence. They were charged with certain things, they were let off the hook.
Yeah, but again, they were charged with a crime. Biden just pardoned his family, and they haven't even been charged with any crimes.
It's an abuse, and I guess the question is, Mike, do you want it to go away?
Well, I just think it's setting Biden. It is what it is. He did it. We can't undo it. But the problem is now that opens the door for all future presidents, current and future, to do whatever they want. As far as no, they have never, unless you can find it. As far as I know, they've never pardoned people that have never even been charged with a crime.
Mike, how can we open the door when the door is already open? Has already been opened. The door was already open. And
yeah, but it's never been done. It's never been.
Were never exposed. What I'm equally saying is, it depends which side you are. You will look detailed. You will dig through the dirt. Okay, and if they start digging through the dirt, we are just whatever we are saying is just the narrative that he who holds the media can control the narrative. There are so many within that if they dig, you will see the door is already wide open.
Yeah, but Fru, can you show me one case where a president has pardoned somebody who's never been charged or convicted of a crime? Can anybody show me that? Because
it has never been my priority, and I don't think it's important. That's why it didn't come up. It's coming up now because the shoe is on the other side.
Well,
no,
but that speaks.
If Trump had done the same thing, I would have been saying the same thing I just said earlier.
Comment from the audience. The media back in 2020 were telling us that Trump would be the one preemptively pardoning his family, but didn't. Biden did. Thank you for your comment.
Eileen, we haven't heard from you on this.
I was just going through the bottom of that, what I sent John, and I find it interesting that he pardons everybody, any member where it says warrant 1, yeah, right down there. The first warrant 1, I love you, was all members of Congress who served on the select committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States, he pardoned.
They didn't commit any crimes that we know of. I mean, it's just, the thing that bothers me is, I know presidents are going to pardon their buddies and stuff like that who were convicted of crimes or accused of stuff. That's been going on for a long time. But it's never happened that they pardon people who have never been charged or convicted of a crime. That's the thing that I have an issue with, because it's.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to solve this.
But before you move on, Cliff, do you want the question posed by me, is: do you want this to go away? I say no. Do you want it to go away? Presidential pardon privileges, Cliff?
No.
Eileen, do you want presidential pardon privileges to go away?
No, who knows if I may need it one day, and I really didn't mean to do something.
Moving on to Mike. Mike, do you want it to go away?
I don't want it to go away, but I want restrictions put on it that you have to have actually been charged or convicted of a crime to give a pardon. Because to pardon people who have not even been accused or charged with a crime, it just defeats the whole purpose of a pardon.
Fru, your thoughts? Do you want it to go away?
I agree with Mike.
Understood. Back to Cliff.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I like this, what he did. For instance, if in another year we decide that Adam Schiff did some terrible things not protected by the fact that he was on the floor of the House, I don't want to go through some long trial with Adam Schiff. I'd rather see him just go away. So.
But he's not going to, because now he's a senator of California.
Oh, I know. I know.
I imagine how odd it would be when he meets President Trump.
Yes.
From the audience, if you
He wouldn't meet with President Trump. Trump invited him to go and around where the fires in California, and Schiff says, "I'm not going to come with you."
last thing
whether
on
you
the
like Trump or not, he still tried to do something with the senator of California.
turning the page
I-
back to pardons. If you accept the pardon, you are admitting you're guilty. Interesting.
True. That is true.
There are people now who are rejecting the pardon because they want to get off on that they weren't guilty. You know, and let's I mean, in my opinion, that's my opinion. When I see somebody pardoned for something, that means that they must, they got pardoned and it goes away, but it's not saying they weren't guilty. So now Biden is pardoning people, and they weren't even accused of a crime. So everybody starts wondering, why would he need to pardon them if they didn't commit any crimes?
I don't know.
At the end of the day, he said he wouldn't pardon his son and then did. Another lie by Joe Biden. Back to you, Cliff.
Okay, so I'm going to switch continents here. And I saw where the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa signed off on a land expropriation law, so land can be taken in public interest if compensation is paid. So the law will assist all organs of state, local, provincial, national authorities to expropriate land for a variety of reasons, including the promotion of industry and access to natural resources. And the African National Congress, the big political party, he proposed this to make it easier for the state to take land without paying for it, and addressing racially skewed land ownership. So what do we think the consequences are? Fru, have you seen this? You have any thoughts?
Well, Ramaphosa was pushed to the corner. That is what the ANC stood for, and that is what made the ANC lost its majority, because it was caving to those who own the land. If you can imagine that the South Africans' land, almost 90% of South Africa, they own just about 5% of the land, and 5%, even less than that, own 90% of the land. How justified is that? That should be done.
So somebody raised the question in a discussion of this as to whether or not this would result in agricultural collapse if we totally changed everything around. And that would result, I think, in out-migration from South Africa. Is that a possibility?
Well, Cliff, that's what the Western media always talk about Africa. You look at the two countries in the Sahel that France has left. Has there been any turbulence without the French trying to come in? You look at a country like Tanzania, that the president, they built highways without taking loan from the World Bank and from the IMF. Are they not standing? Even Burkina Faso, whose young president has been condemned all over the West, he spent $5 billion without taking a loan anywhere, and he has fully paid it. Give the Africans a chance. They will demonstrate that they are up to it. They were up to it before even Western civilization, and that is the fright that is terrorizing this. It's just the media.
Okay. Oh, so the other thing I want to talk about is some scientists have said that Africa is going to split. They
Oh
ripped.
yeah. Eventually, you will see in East around Kenya, if you see that rift, East African rift,
Yeah.
it's actually splitting apart, and the gap is really widening.
Yeah, it is. John, you had your hand up.
Yeah, before Fru skedaddles, I want to get his opinion on the tit for tat with, I think it's Colombia.
Yeah.
We sent a bunch of.
Before we do that, can we put up the pictures?
Yeah, John, I just sent it to you in Zoom on a chat message in Zoom. Yeah, there you go.
So there's.
My part this morning. I have to be on point.
John,
Cliff.
I mean, Fru mentioned this riff, and there should be some
Yeah, the
couple
continental
of
rift.
pictures. Yeah,
Yes.
ugly. There's another picture down below.
You see how it's widening?
Yeah, and then a map. We have a map further down, I think. No, that's another picture. There we can see how the map, how it's going to form a new, very long continent.
And how many, 35,000 years you said yesterday, Cliff?
No, it was supposed to be something like 10 million years, but it looks like it might happen in something like 1 million years.
Okay.
Oh, it was going to take tens of millions of years, but this professor, University of California, Santa Barbara, said it could happen within 1 to 5 million years. So just, a mere
We will
second
be long,
in
we
time.
will be long gone.
Yes.
All right, so going back to my question to Fru. Fru, what are your thoughts on what Trump did? Yesterday in the media, where's Zoom? There's Zoom. Okay, yesterday in the media, we sent 2 military aircraft down to Colombia, bringing back some, as we labeled them, illegals. And the president of Colombia said, this is disgraceful, sending our citizens back in shame. This is terrible. Don't let those planes land here. So Trump said, no problem, 50% tariff on everything you ship up here. And the Colombian president says, oh yeah, 50% tariff for everything you send to us. And then I guess, I don't know exactly what happened, but behind the scenes it got, forget about it. And Colombia says, we'll send our own aircraft up there to pick up our people, and let's move on. What are your thoughts, Fru?
Well, tariffs is a double-edged sword, Cliff. Let's not John, let people not talk it as if tariff will just affect one side. In most of these countries, those manufacturing companies are American American companies. And when you impose taxes, who suffers? The consumer. It's like when 2 elephants fight, it's not the 2 elephants that suffer, it's the grass that suffers. And in the end, revolution starts from the grass. You could start seeing people demonstrating on the streets here. So that is what we are blindsided. And even talking about that immigration, I mean, every country has right for its airspace. You see what happened in Mexico and in other countries that declined. So, I mean, when you start, we should know that we are not an island in the world. No matter how big you are, some of these things can come back to haunt you.
Well, from my end, it was all about we want our coffee. And that's what Colombia sends us, our coffee. So I'm there, ooh, it's going to be no wake-up time for America if this sticks. Back to Cliff.
Well, hey, let me just say something.
Go ahead,
Let's
Mike.
ask the bigger question. Who's really running Colombia? Is it this president or is it the drug cartels in Colombia? So, they don't want these people coming back. These new executive orders by Trump are affecting their money in their pocketbook, in their bank accounts. So, I mean, did the president of Colombia really think that there would not be any consequence, any result to him refusing to take these illegal? Remember, these people are illegal in our country and have committed crimes, and we're returning them to the country of origin. So, I mean, did they think that Trump would just say, "Oh yeah, okay, I guess we can't return them"? Of course
Well,
not.
Mike did, but what it begs the question: what communication did the United States have with Colombia? Any? Okay, so I'm going to send a busload of stuff down to your house in Florida, and I don't tell you. The bus just shows up and it says, "This is for you." You say, "Well, I don't want his. I don't think I want this." So again begs the question: what communication did the United States have with Colombia, if any?
Well,
Well,
you have the communication with the flight plan to begin with.
Do you think that goes to the government of Colombia?
Yeah.
You think the United States Air Force files such plans with the government of Colombia?
Well, it was an Air Force airplane, so yes, they filed that with the FAA, and it goes all the way to Colombia, so the Colombian knows that the airplane's arriving. The airplane didn't just go poof out of nowhere and show up in
Well, why did
Colombia.
they wait? My takeaway from the story is Colombia waited until the planes were circling to land.
Yes, they approved them and then canceled it in flight.
So,
Colombia is a country with problems. You realize there are people from Colombia who are fleeing to Venezuela to get away from drug cartel violence.
I'm with you.
That's not a good situation.
I've been to Colombia, and it's a high-stress visit. And we have to wonder, are they putting fentanyl in our coffee? How would you know?
I don't drink coffee, so I don't care.
You drink any caffeinated beverages?
Tea.
Okay.
Well, I drink
Cliff
decaffeinated
will survive
tea.
us all. Thank you, Cliff.
You're welcome. So, so the press made a big deal that Dr. Fauci's security detail was terminated by the new Trump administration. Did anybody see that?
yes.
Yeah, I saw it.
But it turns out that he was only promised a security detail for 2 years, and that ended in December. So I'm not sure what the outrage is.
Why are we providing all
Hey,
that?
Tara, I'll be
you know?
right there. Thank you.
What about what they said about John Bolton?
Yeah, different situation, but yeah, how long do we provide protection for these people?
I mean, it's what, the problem is we extend their security clearances after they leave the government, and that's where the issue, that's the real question. So just get rid of all their security clearances, and there shouldn't be a problem. I mean, my uncle worked at Kodak. He worked on different things that were top secret there that Kodak did for the government. The only restriction on him when he retired, he couldn't travel outside the United States for 2 years. They didn't provide him with any protection. They just said, you stay here, and in 2 years, the data is outdated, and that's the end of it. So he didn't any longer have security clearances or anything like that. So just take away all their security clearances. They don't have any access to anything, so they're of no value to anybody else. The problem is we extend their security clearances, and that's where the issue comes in.
So, someone I know wrote about the Fauci thing. He said he just needs to stay 6 feet away from people. That's all the security he needs. So anyway, Fru, do you have anything else before you head off to work? Fru.
Well, Cliff, the only thing is 2025, and BRICS world, as Professor Bill said here, the BRICS world is increasing by leaps and bounds, and the population, Nigeria is in, Indonesia is in, and that's almost more than that's almost 60% of the population of the world.
Yeah.
Whether skeptics continue to say how will that hold, that can only intensify with the arrogance of Europe and the West, because it is that arrogance with impunity that has pushed this country to seek alternative routes, and that is how the non-alignment move started.
Well,
All I can say is that they say that the dollar is going down the tubes. The dollar was the only currency that increased in value in 2024. Against all these countries, their value is all decreased. So as far as economic security, the U.S. and the dollar are still better than all those countries combined. And it's because people believe in it. Until people don't believe in the dollar, then, we're still going to be strong.
No, I think, Mike, you are very right. But let us not be contented with the present. People have discarded the BRICS. We should look to the future and see how we can change things to make it better, not stay with that arrogance. There is no condition is permanent in this world.
No, I agree. But the thing is even within the BRICS, they don't agree on stuff. Like India is, because of their value of their rupee or whatever, is that they're still trading in U.S. dollars. So, Russia and China are the ones who are pushing this, but both those countries, the value of their money has gone down in this last year again.
A comment from the audience.
They've got their own internal issues. People believe in the dollar because we're stable compared to other countries.
But we risk that by running deficits. Our deficits continue.
That's another part
debt grows.
That's a part of the problem.
Meaningless, Cliff. Meaningless. The comment from the audience.
Yeah, meaningless right up until you need a wheelbarrow to go to the store.
You want to read this comment? Or am I going to read it?
Only if you blow it up.
The people being shipped out are criminal illegals, really bad people. Most men accused of really bad crimes. They're not regular illegals.
Okay.
Back over to you, Cliff.
All right. How are we doing on time? We actually are starting the second segment early. We have as our guest State Rep Tara Hung. And Tara, where's your district? In my mind, it's the middle of Lowell. Is that right?
Hey, Tara, good morning.
Good morning. So
Morning.
Good morning,
good morning, everyone. I represent the 18 Middlesex district, which is the Highland and Acre neighborhood. So yes.
Okay. But not downtown Lowell.
I have 2 streets in downtown.
2 streets in downtown Lowell. Okay, and you've been sworn in for what, 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
3
yes.
weeks.
This week will be our 4th week there. So yes.
Well,
So, Cliff, looking at the map of the city, the election districts. So, I don't live in Tara's district, but I would call him if I had a problem with the state, and I think he would react.
Oh yeah.
So, you work for everybody, or you're just going to work for your district? Just so the audience knows.
Well, the teamwork is that I represent the 18 Middlesex district, which is the Highland Acre neighborhood. But if you live in Pawtuckaville or say Belvedere, you reach out to my office. I will refer you directly to the representative in that district, so that way they can take up on your issue.
I understand. See how Colleen Gary does it is she picks up the ball and just does the job. That's not saying she's right, you're right. That's just her method. That's why if I need something, I just call Colleen and
Well,
gets
depend on
done.
the issue as well. Depend on the issue you're calling for. If you call for like advocacy work on legislative stuff at the State House, we'll talk about it. And,
Understood.
Yep.
so I heard your grandmother passed away last month?
That's the thing I never. Thank you.
Yes, my grandma passed away a little bit before, after Christmas.
But she got to see you get elected.
Yes, yes.
So did she see that as kind of a culmination of her journey from the killing fields?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Yeah.
She been around for, she was 90 years old before she passed, so she's been around for a long time. She brave woman who took my stepdad and my uncle here, and she been live a long life. So.
Oh, that's good. John, did we lose Zoom?
No,
No, okay.
we're going to go to break.
All right. I'm all for going to break.
All right. Now, your mic's still going to be hot because I can't shut the Zoom off.
Okay.
We'll be back. Thanks.
I can hear you now.
Did you get my email? Okay. I sent. If you can know what this is Mike Smith. And Fru's gone off to work. There you are. Back. Yeah.
You're back.
Welcome to City Life Show. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host. My co-host EILEEN DELROSSI is zooming in today so she can make a fast break for work. Hi, Eileen.
She's gone.
Oh, she already made the fast break for work. We have Mike Smith down in Florida, and our guest is Tara Hung. Am I pronouncing your name right?
Yeah, Tyrone.
Okay. I usually get my name messed up, so I'm willing to be corrected if I get it wrong. Representative 18th Middlesex District, which is contained wholly within Lowell. And then, of course, we have our producer, John McDonough.
Eileen's coming back.
Oh, okay. So when I drove in this morning, it was 19 degrees, but it's going up to, it's going to be sunny, and it's going up to 38 degrees. Do you think it was cold driving in?
It was cold.
Yes. So Sunday in the column, the Sun reporter, Peter Courier, was all over Elon Musk for a supposed Nazi salute. Did anybody see the column?
I did.
Did you read the column Sunday?
Sunday, I did not.
Oh, okay. Did anybody see Elon Musk with his supposed Nazi salute?
I did.
Mike, do you see that picture? I don't think Mike.
Yeah, I saw the picture. But I didn't see before the picture or after, so I can't really make a comment on that. And it's just, I don't know why people got to make more of something than it is. He could have been just pointing someplace, for all I know. If I'm looking at that picture, someplace. They're just up.
Well, did you see Gavin Newsom greet the president at the airport in Los Angeles when he's there? How you doing, Mr. President? I like you a lot. It was all about what you could see on the camera. It had nothing to do with the greeting. And all Newsom wanted was that finger in the president's face. And he got it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I thought that he was just trying to send his love to the audience because, in my mind, Elon Musk is an anti-fascist. Remember, he bought Twitter and freed it from the Joseph Goebbels-like censorship that was being pushed by the Biden administration. And he'd recently been all over British Prime Minister Keir Starmer because Starmer and the government were covering up grooming gangs in places like Rotherham. So, I don't know. What do you think? Is Elon Musk a Nazi?
I think it's time we turn to state issues.
What?
State issues.
Thank you for your comment.
You're welcome.
Mike, what do you think?
No, I don't think he's a Nazi, but it fits some narratives they want to portray as. This Elon Musk is a threat to the normal order. He's coming in and he's going to be cutting people's incomes. You know, people could be losing jobs in the federal government. Defense contractors are going to be getting less money. Other private contractors are not getting. They've already cut off a bunch of contracts with him, you know, going through the efficiency. So it's going to affect differences from the. They're not going to be able to, feed at the trough of the federal government. It's going to affect people, so they don't like that.
Okay, Eileen, you got a thought?
No, I just wanted to go back to the state thing, and if, as a freshman in the State House, Tara, do they make you take your pants off and run around the State House in your underwear or anything like that? What's it like?
Well, for the past 3 week ish at the State House, it's been wonderful. I spend at least 4 days a week at the State House to drive back and forth with my staff to just try to get to know the building and also the people there as well. Part of this job is build relationship at the State House and to be able to work with other people. So that's what I have been doing for the past 3 week ish, and it's been good. A lot of good people there. I did not take my pants off and run around the State House.
Have you had a chance to meet? He's a Republican from John Morisi.
John Morisi. I have not yet.
I don't know if you can hear me, if I lost it.
Yeah, we hear you.
We hear you.
Okay, because he told. All right, he's actually engaged to my older sister, and we had met him out in October, late November for breakfast, and he's like, yeah, I really can't wait to meet Tara. I'm really looking forward to meeting her. And I was like, you know what? If I was a better person, I'd tell her it's a him, but I'm just gonna go with that one for now.
I'll surprise him when I say hi to him in the chamber.
So I get two comments from the audience. The first one, they've been calling anyone who's associated with Trump Hitler, fake news, and then great question, Eileen, had me cracking up.
So, yeah, I think Eileen was referring back to when they had toga parties in the
State House.
In the State House. That was about 20 years ago.
They still would, but there's an audit in line, so they knocked all that stuff off.
Well, they knocked it off about 15 or 20 years ago. But when
No,
Go ahead, Eileen. Eileen?
I was gonna say it's interesting to hear how. Can you hear me?
Yes?
Me?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Can you hear me now? So it's it's interesting how they have it divvied up. Like, obviously you're a fresh, right? And I don't know what stage Rodney is at, but Vienna Howard must be our senior state rep from this area. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I find it interesting. How many new freshman state reps are there that are like? Did you notice?
For my class, we have 19 of us, and there's one more coming in due to special election. That's probably not gonna happen until March. So in total, it'll be 20 of us freshmen. So yeah.
So, what committees did you?
Are they all?
Go ahead.
You're breaking up, kid.
Oh, I was gonna say, are they all about your age,
No.
or are they older?
Well, I'm 24. The oldest one, I think, like 27 up. Yep. So right now we have 19 freshmen.
That's good to hear. We need new, fresh blood.
Yes. Right now we have 19 freshmen, 15 Democrat, and 4 Republican
Okay.
as a
Thank you.
new incoming.
So,
Okay.
what
Should
committees
be
are you on?
interesting.
I am not got assigned to a committee yet, but I did put a request into the speaker office, request 4 different committee. I request for joint committee on housing, joint committee on education, and joint committee on community development and small businesses, and house committee of steering policy and scheduling. Those are my requests to the speaker office.
Steering and what was the last one?
Policy and scheduling, as on the house side of it.
Scheduling?
Yes,
Okay, understood.
and those are the.
What scheduling would they be doing?
We'll work closely with the speaker office and helping manage.
Tara, if you can drag that mic a little the base to you.
There you go.
Thanks.
And what I understand, we'll work closely with the speaker office in preparing for any schedules go to the chamber on agenda, those kind of
Now,
stuff.
your brief take, the State House, the speaker's in charge, and that's the way it works.
Well, that you have to put a request to the speaker so they assign you committee. Those are my requests. We're still not sure will I get it or not, but yes,
All up to the speaker.
all up to the leadership. Yes,
The leadership, which is the speaker.
yes, that's correct.
Understood. I love the fancy, well, it's up to the leadership. No, it's up to the speaker. Thank you.
So, as long as we still have Eileen here, I saw where Paul George is the head of the teachers union is stepping down, and then I saw where the United Teachers are out. They want a $70,000 minimum salary and the right to strike. So that means we're going to have to adjust the laws and provide money. Have you thought about whether or not teachers should have the right to strike?
So I have not heard about this issue yet, but I ran on my campaign. I believe that public employees should have a right to strike.
Okay. So, what about a $70,000 salary for teachers? Does that seem reasonable to you? What's your salary? 65?
I'm not sure. I think it was like 84.
Oh, 84.
Yeah. But I believe that if we are in the capacity to able to help raise the salary for our teacher, to support them in their way of living and in their career, we should do so with a thought that we should able to help them in their career going forward. But yes.
So if we give them the right to strike, they're striking against us, John and myself, but yet we are not directly part of the negotiation. Is that a good thing? Are we going to have local government captured by the unions if we give the unions the right to strike?
Well, not the union though, right? Based on what I understand what you said, that it's giving the right to teacher to strike.
Yeah.
Because at the moment they don't have those privilege to do so.
I think Cliff's referring to all government
Good
employees.
luck understanding what he's saying, because I've been trying to figure it out for 2 years now.
So my takeaway from what Cliff is asking you is the right for all government employees to strike, which includes policemen and firemen and EMTs and dispatch for those emergency services. All those unions would have a right to strike. Now, if the dispatchers union decides, we're going on strike, not good. So you got to be, you're in real stinky water there. You got to be careful what you wash yourself down with.
Right. Well, my take is that if we keep everything fair in salary or treating people in their workplace, those wouldn't lead to those kind of situation, right? But that's up, it's up
We don't treat people fairly, and that doesn't happen. Fair doesn't happen. The issue is, Tara, is can police go on strike? Can firemen go on strike? And can emergency dispatchers go on strike?
if it will be difficult for the community if they are. Yes.
Yep. So, a good question that I think is in your district. I saw that some people think that if President Trump follows through on pausing the bipartisan Infrastructure Act's payments, that the funding for the Rourke Bridge is going to go away. Has anybody talked to you about keeping the money for the Rourke Bridge?
That's been a concern this week-ish as well. I've been in contact with Congresswoman Lauren Johan's office and tried to get those information because everything's been changing so quickly at the federal level. It's a lot to keep track of. So I've been closely in contact with the Congresswoman to see if those money coming in or not. I am I have request to Mass DOD for a quick meeting sometime this week. So I'm waiting for their response so can get those information and update. As soon as I get those information, I'll put it out to public as well.
Okay, good.
My understanding is they don't want the bridge to come in to construction or fruition during Trump's term.
Who say that?
That's what I'm getting from my federal friends. They're mad as heck. It's a Democratic state, and they're mad as a wet hen that Trump's in charge.
Well, the money should already set aside. That's the thing, right? The money should already set aside for the Rourke Bridge.
Key word there
But
is should, hocus pocus.
That's a big question I have as well. So I'm reaching out to the key player, and as soon as I get those information, I'll put it out to the public.
Cliff, do you have electronic ticketing on your little pad there to ask Tara about?
To do what?
Electronic ticketing.
Electronic ticketing.
Electronic ticketing?
Yes, where the governor is proposing that they're going to have these little traffic lights that will observe if you're speeding. And you're going to get a speeding ticket in the mail. That's where it's going to start. It's going to go on to bigger and better things. I like electronic ticketing because cops have better things to do than give tickets out. What I want you to do at the get-go, Tara, is I don't want it to tag my insurance. Just because some computer says, oh, McDonough is doing 36 down Gorham Street and the speed limit's 25. Send them a ticket. I don't want it tagged to my insurance until we'll say I get 3 strikes a year. The 4th violation I get every year, my insurance company will be notified. But this business of every single time a computer picks me out of driving down Gorham Street too fast or driving out in Tewksbury too fast, it's going to get tagged my insurance. And so I just want you, it's going to come to your attention. It's a law that's coming.
Yes.
I just don't want it tagged. And what are your thoughts? Should it be tagged the first time to my insurance?
I have to look into it, but thank you for your feedback on that. Yes, if the governor do that, it will only fall under like State Street that state owned. It won't fall into the city.
Well, I know down at the State House they love this business. It wasn't me. It's them. It's them.
But no,
You're the rep, okay?
I'll take a look into it.
The governor has to listen to, at least take your phone call.
Yeah, I'll take a look into it and see.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you, John.
Okay, so we're going to do the homeless count at the end of the month on 30 January, and it went up 10,000 between 2023 and 2024, and I can't imagine it's going to go up even more, but still, between the homeless and the undocumented immigrants, we're sort of maxing out our capacity, and even Governor Healy is paying attention to this. So, do you think that the Commonwealth government will start to support President Trump in terms of deporting illegal migrants who have committed crimes in the United States?
Well, for that topic, that's always been the case. If someone commit crime as an undocumented immigrant, they will get deported back, right? The problem we have right now is that we are in the short of place and money to spend on this. So that has been a big discussion at the Beacon Hill for the past few weeks. I don't know if you've been followed, but the governor proposed a change to the right to shelter law.
Yep.
And the chair Wei and Mean sent a bunch of questions to the governor to clarify what they are, and I'm waiting for those respond back before we can vote on those supplemental budget for the next few weeks, I hope. But yes.
My wife asked me yesterday, so I'm bringing the question to you. Do we think that the Venezuelan gang TDA Aragua has established itself in Lowell or in this part of Massachusetts?
I don't think so. I don't have any proof on that. I don't see anything related to that.
So we're not suffering the way Colorado was. Aurora, Colorado was having serious problems
With
TDA.
Oh.
That's good.
I have a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so at the state house level and where I heard you speaking about, like, you want to make sure that everyone is being treated fairly, do you see or do you hear a buzz, anything about the whole Karen Reed case, and will you help to support her and her fight for justice?
Karen Reed case. I heard about it, but I have not
go
had
out?
the opportunity to follow it because
EILEEN DelRossi, you got
Can
a
you
question
still hear
about
me?
Karen Reed?
Oh wait, I'm gonna hang up and call Cliff's phone.
okay. But to answer the
Hold
question,
on.
I
Because
Go ahead and make the call, Eileen.
So I'm going to do these two comments while we can, okay? Are we really blaming the federal government for a 40-year-old used bridge? The bridge should have been done a long time ago. Wake up and go back to sleep. Second comment is
Stand by, Eileen.
the Ruck Bridge should be a priority. The condition of the bridge is not getting any better. Back over to you, Cliff. Thank you.
Can you grab that far mic there? Yeah. Okay, Eileen. You're back up.
So my question was in regards, I know there are some state representatives that are pushing so there's more transparency throughout the state, and especially with the Karen Reed case and the Sandra Birchmore case. I'm wondering if you've heard talkings about that in the State House, and would you be willing to join a commission to help support more transparency in the legal process
so
and holding police accountable?
to answer that question, I was starting to answer earlier that I have not followed the case because I've just tried to been settled on to this position and get my information out and contact to the people in the district. So thank you for bringing it up. I'll look into it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And you're doing a great job. I love it. You're jumping in and you're like knowing what you want, and your experience is only going to make you that much greater in this position, I think.
Thank you, Eileen.
So you mentioned the Education Committee. I've got a bone to pick with the UMass system. The General Court passed a law so that Native Americans, veterans, and people over 65 could take continuing ed for a nominal fee. And my wife and I took a number of courses that way. It's a good cheap date. And we enjoyed doing it, and I think that older people doing that kind of thing, it helps keep their brain active and going. But with COVID and with the coming of online courses, the UMass Lowell system said, oh, it's a different color of money, therefore, yes, it's in the continuing ed catalog, but we're going to charge the full rate. I think that that goes against the sense of the original law. I think that the general court should tell UMass the continuing ed, even if it's online, should be, yes, go ahead, use that piece of paper. The continuing ed courses online or in person should all be treated the same for those three groups, Native Americans, veterans, and I think it's people over 65. Could be 62, I don't know. But anyway, that's my thought. So, talking about the general court, it seems to me that there's a growing number of people that think the general court has become sort of a closed club and is not really open and transparent. I don't know. What do you think, Eileen?
I think the more money people have, and I'm a big conspiracy theorist, and I believe the bigger the pockets are, the more deep holes there are, and I believe, like Diana DiZoglio's trying to audit the state, and so forth. You're coming in at such an interesting time, Tara, that you probably will write a book. But there's so many different components in trying to just bring overall transparency. I've seen the corruption. I've seen, what people with the big pockets and the connections try to do. And it's disturbing in this state especially. And there's been a big history of that. And I think that if there's ever a term to be a state rep in this state, it's this term, and I believe you're going to learn so much, and so much will be revealed at the same time. And I don't want to put you on the spot about anything, because that's just a lot to take in the courts and you know what I mean? But I just think that generally it's honestly an eye-opening time for the state in itself, with things slowly being exposed. So I don't know if that answers your question, Cliff.
Yeah.
Okay, good talk.
Well, I would say that I agree with you on that, we have to find a way to make it more transparent for the people to know what's going on at the State House. That's why that was my campaign I ran on to build a better constituent service and keep people updated on what's in and out of the State House. One of my goals as in the first term is right now, the past 3 weeks, is to get my information out to people. My office email, my office phone number, my staff information. I have so many.
I got that email. I got it.
Yeah, you got the email. I set up. My team and I set up so many platforms to make it more accessible as much as we can from my office. I have 2 websites. One website is from me that I created, and the other one is from the General Court at the State House. I can help provide that as well if John Cliff want to send it out.
That'd be good.
And I have email, phone number. We have on my card that I'm going to give to you guys before I leave. I have my cell phone there, my office district phone number there. Feel free to reach out anytime.
Looking on the screen, Tara, what website do you want the community, the audience, to know about?
It's www.repterrahong.com.
Yeah.
That-
Now, what exactly was your position with UMass Lowell and Middlesex? What agency did you work for there?
Does that look right, Tara?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thanks.
Eileen, can you repeat the question?
Yep, and when you were with UMass Lowell, I know you did lots of programs in Middlesex. What was the name of the program that you worked for?
So
And are you
for MCC, I never work at MCC, but I work with Project Learn that
What's
partners.
MCC? What's MCC?
Middlesex Community College.
You work
I-
there now?
No, not anymore. I work at an organization called Project Learn that partnered closely with Middlesex Community College, relate to early college program and internship program. And I did work part-time before I joined the State House as a program assistant at UMass Lowell, UMass Lowell, just part-time there and while working there, I also ran my campaign. At the time, when we found out that we won the election in November officially, I resigned from that position, and now I'm working full-time as a state representative.
good for you? But and I just believe like your experiences from working with the Project Learn will only bring more of a richness to what you're doing. And it's Project Learn, if I'm not mistaken, is part of the TRIO program.
Project Learn is their own non-profit organization.
Okay.
Yes.
But well, I think of like the TRIO program. Like I was a participant in the Gear Up program.
Yeah, they involved with so many things with Lowell High School as well to provide
Yes.
any support, with grant money that Lowell High School need. Project Learn was one of those organizations that helped promoting that. So, but yes.
And
All
I
right.
think there's such a need to get all of that information of like what those programs really offer, like blasted out to
Correct.
people in this area because so many people don't know.
I agree. Yes, that's why I come up. My team and I come up with so many platforms to keep it accessible with different information. Right. I have Facebook, Instagram that allow people to follow and keep themselves updated on what I do and what information out there. And one of the different things between the past rep and myself in this role is that we plan to do a newsletters that we will plan to send out every monthly, to keep everyone updated about the job at the State House, any new information, and the office hour that I plan to offer. And just spoiler alert, this have not out yet, but I'm gonna announce it here. We plan to do our first office hour on February 15th. At McDonough Cafe. We'll put that out information on social media by the end of this week.
Where is Nevada
Is that
Cafe?
in Lowell?
Yeah, McDonough Cafe is located at Western Avenue. It's in the Acre neighborhood, Western Avenue.
Okay, just going over to
Well,
the audience.
Now, I wanted to just take a second and because Kathy just appeared just for a second in the picture, I just wanted to say, hi, Kathy.
Morning.
Go ahead,
You all
John.
set now?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I said go ahead.
You can read this then.
It's not a conspiracy. The State House operates with impunity. Tara will learn how it's done.
And for those dummies out there like myself, impunity means exemption from punishment or freedom from injurious consequences of an action. The impunity enjoyed by the military officers implicated in civilian killings. That's a very severe word, impunity.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
So, I'm wondering, in the last presidential election, obviously, candidate Harris won Massachusetts, but by less votes than President Biden did 4 years before. And President Trump upped his game a little bit. So are the Republicans making a little bit of an inroad? Are the Democrats sort of resting on the fact that they know how it's all done and they don't have to worry?
Well, during the election, the Democratic Party side did a really hard job on doing canvassing on behalf of Vice President Harris, and there's a lot that happened. You probably know of during that time of the campaign for the presidency, and there's so many things happening, and the numbers show a little
Yeah.
bit up toward Trump because of his message resonated to certain working class people, and we see that, and we understand that, and I know that the Democratic Party gonna reshape their message and our message to help and improve our community going forward. So hopefully that the number will go up and turning out vote next year. And I also, with my being accessible and transparent to the people in 18 Middlesex District, hoping that giving more hope to people and get them to come out and be involved in the community and the process of voting as well next year.
So,
This year. Yeah, it's a city council race this year. So.
Chris, I think Mike has any questions?
yeah,
Okay.
I don't. But go ahead. Mike, you got a question? Hello?
You guys are cutting out on.
Oh, that's not good. Do you want to phone in? Mike, you want to phone in?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay. So, Charles, when I look at the election in November, I have this chart I made up, and it shows my ward, Ward 3, turned out pretty well. Not great. Let's see. I have to think about this. Hold and accept. All right. Are you in?
you're cutting out, so I couldn't hear you.
All right. So, how are we, but when I look at your wards, they're not turning out in large numbers. How are we going
Cliff, we believe you. You can put the graph down.
to, okay, how are we going to get people to turn out to vote?
For my understanding and my background in the civic engagement work, get people to vote, that you have to find a way to build trust with people, right? To get people to come out and engage. For the past few years, there's in the 18. I talk about the 18 Middlesex District. For the past few years, because of not being accessible and not building those trust and support with the community, people lose hope on coming out to engage in the community. But my goal is, to not be to make that better and improve that for the district by be as much accessible and be able to answer in a phone call and email back, and hoping that will give hope to people, and people will see that, and people will start to come out, be engaged in the community. It's going to be a lot of work ahead. I'm committed to do the work, when the weather a little bit warmer. I'm planning to continue getting out there, door knocking, and introduce myself to local businesses, giving my business card, talking to them on foot, and building those connections in the community. But the goal is to get more people to be engaged, and the only way to do that, the representative and the elected official have to do the work and be engaged in the community. So, yeah.
Mike, do you have any questions so far?
Well, he kept dropping out, so I couldn't hear everything. But you're talking about getting more people to vote. You have to really find what motivates people, what they're interested in, what they're passionate about. Mm-hmm. And if you can connect with them with that, then they'll come out and vote. Otherwise, if they don't feel engaged, as you were saying, they don't feel engaged, you're not going to get them to vote. So you got to find what's going to make them more engaged.
That's correct, Mike. Yep.
So I know that you're new down on Beacon Hill, but Speaker Mariano, he is the top dog.
He's the Speaker of the House.
Yeah. He hasn't committed to complying with State Auditor Diana DeZoglio's audit of the legislature. We, the voters, passed an initiative to enable her to do that, and I'm sort of getting a sort of mezzo view from him. Well, he's quoted as saying that about complying with the audit, and he said that's another question. I think compliance is in the eye of the beholder. I think compliance is in the eye of the voter.
Well, the voters said that, across the country, with over 72%
Yeah.
of people voted supporting question 1 to audit the state legislature. I support the question, but at the moment, I'm waiting to hear more about what's going on as well. I'm the same boat as you. I'm even at the State House, but I'm digging around up there to get those information. I'm kind of lost on where the question of question 1 leading to and what are the process are. But I'm been keep my close eye, not close eye, my focus and try to get more information relate to that. Honestly, I have not heard anything from the leadership on this or when we're gonna vote on it. But I'm keep my eye open and see how it will go. But yes.
I wanted to take just a second. John, did you have any announcements?
We skipped the announcements today.
Okay, I had made a note to myself to just mention that our 25th annual Winterfest is going to be Friday, the 21st of February, so people ought to gear themselves up for Winterfest.
I'm planning to be there. Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
2 comments from the audience. Are you going to report to the Lowell Sun and other media outlets how you are voting on issues?
Yes, that will be on my website as well. That will keep it accessible and get those information out. In my website, the terrorhome.com, erupterrorhome.com, there's a tab called Legislative.
Okay.
And in there will be the bill that I filed, the bill that I co-sponsor, and the bill that any issue that I will vote on in the chamber at the State House. We will update that as soon as I do anything on that website.
Okay.
Good.
The reason the Democrats lost was because of the constant lying, and the media went right along with them. That's from Jay. Back over to you guys.
So have you, you've met Melanie Gilbert, the reporter from the Lowell Sun?
Yes.
Yeah. She seems like a square shooter.
She's great. I met her a few times during the campaign, and we have a good conversation. Yes.
That's good. So we've talked about that. Did the legislature have a view on President Trump saying he was going to use military forces to help with the deportation of illegal immigrants?
I personally don't support that, but waiting for hear more from the governor on where her
So
issue on that.
why do you not support it?
Use military force
Yeah.
to deport immigrant.
Yeah.
Don't we already have ICE and other federal government to do that? Why we need military to come in to even scare the community that's not get deported with those military people? So
I think the big contribution of military forces in the logistics area, helping take care of that sort of administrative logistic activity to free up ICE to do their regular activities.
Comment from the audience. For some reason, more people show up to vote for president than they do for local councilor. When will the president come to Lowell to say thank you? Will the president be welcomed in Massachusetts is a question. And my answer to the fact that the president's using the military is every outfit out there, sitting with public authorities my whole adulthood, the first thing they ask us, is he going to give us more money? So if you task ICE with go and get the million illegal immigrants that are living in Massachusetts, go and get them. and bring them to Fort Devens, ICE is going to say, send us some more money before they do one thing.
Well,
That's my takeaway from a lot of government agencies.
yes. So the ICE issue, that is the federal government thing. And if President Trump wanted to use ICE in his case of trying to get an illegal immigrant, that's his responsibility to fund those programs. The state, Massachusetts committed. We're not planning to work with ICE, and because
Why aren't we going to work with ICE?
excuse me, what's that?
Why aren't we going to work with ICE? In your mind, why aren't we going to work with ICE?
For my personal take is that, okay, we understand we already have a law, and that's, if you are illegal, undocumented immigrant and you commit a crime, you get deported back to your country, right? But if you are just coming here seeking asylum seeker and you live in this, country, and some people got shipped from Texas and that kind of stuff, we have to understand and be passionate on finding a way to help and support them, right? If they are commit crime, which is a low percent of it, then those people, according to the law, they will get deported. That's what they say in the law at the moment. So.
Yeah. Well, the problem I see with this is that when you mention about asylum seeking, there's a process, and they're supposed to be waiting, not here in the country if they're asylum seeking. They should be waiting before and get reviewed whether that's valid or not. And with the previous administration, they're just letting everybody in and saying, here's a ticket, show up in court later on to deal with this. That's the problem we're running into now. So now you have people in Massachusetts that should have been waiting at the border to see if their asylum seeking was legal or not, was valid. And now you've got to deal with that in Massachusetts, which is unfortunate. But, let's remember, all these people have come in the country illegally. And if they've broken the law, I guarantee if we were coming into Mexico illegally and they found out, they would be prosecuting us and we would be held accountable. Same thing in other countries. So we're trying to fix it. Unfortunately, we have to fix a problem now that should have never occurred. So it's an unfortunate thing, but again, people are here illegally. They're breaking the law. If I get caught speeding, I have to pay a ticket and appear in court. I could lose my license possibly because I broke the law. So we have to enforce the law because we need to take care of our own citizens and legal permanent residents first, instead of spending all these resources on people that were not coming here legally. The people that are here legally, whether they're permanent resident or citizens, are suffering because the money that could have been used to help them that needed it is all being put into all these other people. And we don't have unlimited money.
Looking at comments from the audience, for the last 4 years, we watched on a daily basis the newcomers breaking into our country, and now we have to help them. First comment, no way. Second one, Melanie Gilbert is only a straight shooter when it comes to Democrats.
I don't think that's a fair comment.
I don't
Well,
think that's
it's
true.
Comment from the audience, that's all. Back to you, Cliff.
Yep. As a Republican, I think I get a square deal from Melanie. So that's,
That's somebody not looking at the whole picture.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, unfortunately, Massachusetts now in your area in Lowell has to clean up the problem that shouldn't have been coming to your state. That's the real issue. So nobody's a winner in this, unfortunately. If we had just enforced the law and followed the previous processes, we wouldn't have you guys in Lowell and other states having to deal with this issue.
Okay, I just want to put this out there. Immigration has been screwed up my entire lifetime. 70 years immigration's been screwed up. Maybe in Cliff's lifetime it's been great. But when they mail you a postcard that's in a language you can't read and tell you to report to the courthouse on a certain day, and you bring it to a friend, what does this say? Throw it away. They have no proof they actually gave it to you. If I was in Mexico and they had just burnt, in the country I just left, Venezuela or Brazil had just burnt down my house and raped my kids, okay? And they said, oh, go wait in line. I look over, and there's a bazillion people cutting through the fence. I said, the hell with you. I'm going to cut through the fence. And it's stay in line, stay in line. I'm going to go in with those people. What happened was a catastrophe. I think Trump is going to get rid of the criminals, and that's going to be it. Once the criminals are gone, everything's going to be hunky-dory. We've got to streamline this citizenship issue that's been screwed up for my entire lifetime. Back over to you, Cliff.
Okay, I want to do a quick run through the city council tomorrow. And if you have any thoughts on these as I'm going through them, jump right in. So Corey Belanger wants to an update on the relocation of the Lowell Transitional Living Center. And he wants an update on the Lord Overpass regarding buses and public safety vehicles using the emergency lane as well as light synchronization. I've spent a lifetime at the traffic lights on the Lord Overpass.
Pain.
Well, recently, just this week, they got synchronized. Isn't it impressive how the city manager listens to a city council? He's going to have a question for this. And I hope that Corey has the guts to say, Mr. Manager, this is just the last 3 days this goddamn thing got fixed. What the hell's the matter with you? Don't we have anybody who can program these traffic lights? Did you go to traffic light programming school, Mr. Manager? And who went to school to fix these traffic lights? And did we send somebody to school and they went to go work for Bill Ricker? I'm sick of this Lord Overpass congestion. We all avoid it because it's terrible. That's my take.
Okay. Terry, yeah, I'm blaming the general court. They gave us money to screw it up.
No, they gave us, there's a fantastic lighting system that we do not know how to operate.
I was not in there yet with the money
Yeah,
dispersed.
I'm not blaming you for that. It's your predecessor. Terry M. has a couple of motions with regard to the Smith Baker Center on containing containment remediation and also on saving historic artifacts. Corey Robinson wants a report on current winter operation plans, including citywide parking bans. Wants to know if we can do an outdoor ice skating facility, which sounds like a good idea. And one I think is very important, a free property fraud watch alert system for the city of Lowell, working with the Middlesex County Register of Deeds, sort of like what Salem, Mass has. And also contact Congresswoman Trahan's office about the funding for the Rourke Bridge. And then
She's going to answer. I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. And Councilor Dakota wants to investigate the feasibility of establishing a facilities department for maintenance of buildings.
Two announcements. Melanie is a great guest on the program. That's from Bart. If you sign your text, it gets up on the screen. I just copy and paste. Tomorrow, City Life. Bobby Hoey's going to be here. Ned Timey's going to be here. Tom Bomo. And Carla Miller's going to be here as well. Time is short, Cliff. Thanks.
Okay. And there was one petition handwritten on just notebook paper by two ladies. She handed it into the city clerk. They wanted to discuss the status and safety issues regarding Doherty Court, which is in back central part of Lowell. So we're down to 7 minutes. What didn't we cover that we should talk about?
I just want to add on to our conversation on my time at the State House, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
The past 3 weeks, I swore into this position on January 1st, and then we have our 2-week deadline to file a bill. It's the last date was January 17. My team and I filed 5 bill on our cell and 3 bill co-present with other representative. The 5 bill that I just want to share, the 5 bill that I filed with myself, by myself, to the general court. 2 of them relate to elder issue support. One of the bill related to elder is to provide affordable and accessible internet access to either the senior homing, or if you over 65, you should able to fall under those programs from the state side to able access internet affordability. And then the second one relate to senior is an act to intergenerational program is requiring the state program of the state to create its own program to find a way to allowing younger generation, elder generation to be able work together and help each other out in the communities, to building those relationships that we have not been having and missed those opportunities for many years. I feel like this will a good bill that will help promote those issues. My third bill relate to education. I filed a bill that relate to civic engagement study. So it's requiring public school to create a curriculum at least one semester, requiring students to take a civic class to learn about the government and how things work and how should they be involved in the community. My fourth bill is related to veteran. It's I filed a bill requiring our state to create its own service dog program to allowing providing support to veterans those in need. This bill, during the campaign, I talked to one of the veterans in my district. I got an idea from him, so thank you to him to file this bill and helping create those programs in the state. Right now, we only have like private or local non-profit to have those programs. I want the state to have its own, and so that way it can speed the process for veterans who need service dog for their time after they're serving our country. My fifth bill is related to rent stabilization. From during the campaign, I talked to a lot of the community members. They want to see something to do with rent control. My bill is requesting our general court to Massachusetts to create a commission on study rent stabilization to see can it will work, can it be work or not, and in our Commonwealth, or as any other alternative that can help alleviate some of the housing issue in our Commonwealth. That's the 5 bill that I filed, and that will be available on the website there as well, and we'll keep you updated if anything going forward. Yes.
I'll give you an alternative for your bill number 5.
I got these 2 comments from the audience that I'm going to ask Tara to show off his new website to us. Great show today. Don't forget, penny saved is not a penny earned. It cost you 3 cents. That's from
I just
Jay.
found out that this morning, literally. Yes.
Yes.
And then, great show today. Thank you to Rep. Hung for coming in.
Thank you.
So, Tara, we're looking at, this is your new website. You said there's some tabs on top. Do you want to tell the audience about this, how it works? Or
Yeah, so if there's a bunch of tabs on top, the first tab is above. It's just talking about me and my story of coming here and my time before I get elected. And the second tab next to it, constituent service, it have my information there, how to contact me. If you scroll down a little bit, John, you will see the tab say contact us. You click on that, it will send you a link that will able to fill out question and contact information to me. There's my email there and phone number, my staff email, phone number there as well. In that constituent service link there, you might go back. Scroll down, John, if you don't mind. The office hour, I will keep everyone update on that. I will plan to post that office hour soon on every social media platform I have. And the last information on this tab is request house citation. If you want to request a house citation from my office, just reach out and 1 week in advance, and we'll make that work if it's qualified for a citation or not. Go back up, and that's office staff. Michelle Bouchard is my staff. We only team of two.
How did you come by her?
What's that?
How did you come by her?
We know each other since my first campaign, and we work pretty close and each other.
So she's a long-time acquaintance.
Yes, and also she got experience from State Senator Ed Kennedy office as well. So she had been a really helpful in me transition into this new role at the State House.
You might, when you're editing later on, add the office phone number to this page.
Okay, thank you.
Just for kicks.
Yes, I'll do that. The next one, illustration. This page is all the bill that I filed so far as a lead sponsor, and then go down more. There will be a tab information about a co-sponsor bill that I'm working on so far. And the last information on this bill is just legislation update, which means that if any bill that I vote on the House floor, I will keep everyone updated on here. Either I vote yes or no.
We got 30 seconds.
Yes.
So. Newsletter.
And newsletter. Please sign up for my newsletters. I plan to send out once a month with all the updates going on at the State House and
Community
the district.
resources. I gotta force this because the computer's gonna shut us off.
Yeah, community resources, everything in there, and all information about local, state, and federal government. Anything that you need from here, check it out.
We need the
And
governor's phone number in here, kiddo.
I-
Just to FYI, and then contact us.
Contact us, just my information and my staff.
Beautiful.
Reach out anytime.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Cliff. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Have
for
a good
watching.
morning.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay. Okay, so before I was so rudely interrupted, if we're gonna fix the